You are looking live from Tokyo, Japan. It's the very first ever Thursday night Throwdown live stream. It, as always, is your host, Arachnid Soul. I'm joined by a man I will introduce when the first wrestler starts making his way down the aisle, Fight Night's finest. There you see a beautiful shot of the arena. And what better way to kick off tonight's live action but with the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Let's send it to the ring announcer. Let's wait for the entrance of Minoru Tanaka.
Let's see tonight the hottest battle of the great wrestling.
Minoru Tanaka, a man who on one of the very first ever Throwdown broadcasts challenged the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Jushin Thunder Liger. That night, it was a 15-minute time limit draw. Minoru Tanaka taking the champion Liger the distance, taking him all the way to the closing bell. Since that night, there has been talk about the fact that Jushin Thunder Liger was not able to defeat Minoru Tanaka. Tanaka has guaranteed tonight that the champion cannot put him away. Minoru Tanaka saying he will win the belt. Here's Liger.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see tonight the hottest battle of the great wrestling. Jushin Thunder Liger from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Jushin Thunder Liger, an international star, arguably the most decorated junior heavyweight slash cruiserweight slash X Division wrestler in the past 20 to 25 years. A star not only in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but also in the United States with Ring of Honor and with TNA Impact Wrestling. A man who started his career in Japan. A man who has trained both in Canada, in Mexico, and here in the Orient. Tonight, Jushin Thunder Liger says he will prove the doubters wrong. Tonight, Liger says he will put away Minoru Tanaka. Another interesting fact, no time limit. Tonight, there must be a winner. Momentarily, we go to that opening bell, and I will introduce you to Fight Night's finest. Here's the ring announcer. He's introducing these two awesome wrestlers. The Light Heavyweight Championship, the X Division Championship, the Cruiserweight Championship, or as it's called here in New Japan Pro Wrestling, the IWGP. And for you who are curious, that stands for International Wrestling Grand Prix Junior Heavyweight Championship is on the line. As a matter of fact, we see Minoru Tanaka there almost disregarding the champion, Jushin Thunder Liger. We see Liger in the far corner being introduced now. Fight Night's finest is putting on the headset. He will be with us momentarily. Liger looks to be poised. Liger looks to be set. Liger looks to be ready. We want to remind you, if you're in the chat room, if you're enjoying this broadcast right now, go to Twitter, tweet out this link. We want this event to be the hottest in history. You hear, for the first time tonight, that opening bell. Liger starts out with the full arm dragon twist. Your host, Arachnid Soul, in the booth, joined by Fight Night's finest, the Sophic commentator. Fight Night, what's going on?
What is good, Arachnid Soul, and what's up to everybody watching at home? It's your boy, Fight Night's finest, the Sophic commentator, your co-host, joining here tonight on this great live stream, the first ever Throwdown Live.
I gotta tell you, I've been so excited for this. We see Liger with that figure four leg lock early on. Minoru Tanaka, a former kickboxer, a former shoot fighter, competed in the Battle Arts MMA promotion. Talking MMA, we see that modified Kimura by Jushin Thunder Liger. Very smart early on for Jushin Thunder Liger to start working on the legs of Minoru Tanaka, because not only might that save him from the kicks, from those strikes that will come from the lower half of Minoru Tanaka's body, but you've got to think Minoru Tanaka will not be able to fly tonight if he doesn't have the wheels, if he doesn't have the legs. We saw that rolling knee bar, another brilliant strategy from Minoru Tanaka, using the same game plan on Jushin Thunder Liger as Liger's using on Tanaka. Now, Fight Night, you remember that match. The last time these two met, they went 15 minutes. There was a time limit draw. In terms of pacing, what does Jushin Thunder Liger have to do here tonight to be successful?
Well, I think he has to slow the pace down of the match. If he can get those submissions, you've seen him already going with that figure four leg lock twice already in this matchup. If he could slow the pace down and keep him on the ground and possibly set up those brain busters for later on, he should be doing fine in this match and should be able to come away with a victory.
German suplex that time, and Minoru Tanaka kicking out. I fully agree with you. Let's talk momentarily about the heights and the weights. We see the hammerlock throw, the Irish whip. Minoru Tanaka came back. Sunset flip that time. Referee in position, and Liger, no, able to get out at the last second. Jushin Thunder Liger, the champion, in the horns, in the red and white. Coming in tonight, standing at 1.70 meters, that's 5'7", weighing in at 95 kilos. That's about 209, 210 pounds. Minoru Tanaka at 1.75 meters, aka 5'9", coming in tonight at 85 kilograms. That's about 187 pounds. We are seeing some amazing wrestling opening up this event tonight. Once again, follow me on Twitter at ArachnidSoul. We see that Le Quebradora, Con Elo, the Tilt-A-World backbreaker. Tweet out this stream, and we want to hear from you as Liger with that rear naked choke. We want to hear from you in the chat room. Fight Night, how do you see this match playing out this far? Who do you have up on points?
As we see that combo kick connect from Liger, right now I have Liger up. He's controlling the match so far. He's been able to get in some good submissions, and we're also seeing him keeping his opponent from being able to get anything going.
And we see we have some people in the comment section there. Red Eye Jedi enjoying tonight's broadcast of Throwdown Wrestling Live. Jushin Thunder Liger has held that belt since last year. Can he walk out tonight? Can he remain your IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion? Irish whip to the far side. Liger comes back. Once again with that capo kick like Fight Night said a couple of seconds ago. Rains down with the right hook. Steps through. We talked about his training in Mexico. We see La Magistral, the Magistral cradle. The Royal Clutch did not get the job done. Jushin Thunder Liger snaps off the Dragon Screw leg whip. Shades of Keiji Muda, shades of the Great Muda. Back heel trip that time. And when we talk about the MMA background, MMA conditioning, and boxing conditioning, very similar. Fight Night's finest, a boxing expert. Let's talk a little bit about boxing conditioning. If we can even take it away from professional wrestling here for a second, just generically, what does a fighter have to do to train to make sure that he can go the 15 minutes or to make sure that he can go a little bit longer than traditional regulation time?
Well, one thing he has to do is practice, do a little bit of sparring. If you get in there with some real life situations, you might be able to condition yourself for what it is that you might incur in the ring. You got to run those sprints. You got to be jogging outside. None of that inside of the house or inside of the gym on that treadmill. You have to be out there doing our hard road work. Maybe going around the track outside by a football field. Anything that you can do to go ahead and condition yourself, whether it's running stairs, any form of conditioning that in terms of long conditioning, long endurance, you should be able to be fine in the long run.
Well, we see Jushin Liger looking for the Avalanche German. I believe if he hits that tonight, that will be it. Minoru Tanaka with the agility flips through the backflip. Awesome counter, landed on his feet, front face lock. Low suplex that time. Almost shades of the Dynamite Kid or the late Chris Benoit. And I agree with you when you talk about conditioning. Well-conditioned athletes are not made in a weightlifting gym. As we see that release German, they're made in the ring. They're made out on the track. It's that determination, that focus to get up. As we see the arm wringer once again, to get up at 4. Wait a minute. flips through. Awesome, amazing reversal by Minoru Tanaka. That dedication to get up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and to run those shuttle runs, to go out on that football field. Like you said, Minoru Tanaka going up top, looking to come off the Falcon's nest. Missile drop kick, but the B-passo from Liger. Lateral press that time, did not even get a 1 count. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, wait a minute. Corkscrew that time, tombstone, no! Minoru Tanaka reverses and connects with a tombstone of his own. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our first live stream. You are watching the best wrestlers, the best wrestling. It's, as always, your host, Arachnid Soul, joined by Fight Night's finest. Seesaw matchup, lateral press that time. Seesaw matchup, back and forth. It has been all night. The championship of the junior heavyweights of New Japan Pro Wrestling, of the International Wrestling Grand Prix on the line tonight. We saw Liger a couple of seconds ago working the legs again with that shin breaker. Sends Tanaka outside. Keep your eyes on JTL, who goes and scores with the tope suicida. Fight Night in this match, where one man has to win pinfall or submission. Do you think it's worth it for Liger to take a risk like that and go suicide dive, or do you think that's a mistake that might put his belt in jeopardy?
As the champion, you always got to take those risks sometimes. Sometimes you have to establish your dominance in the ring and let the challenger know why you are the champion. And that's exactly what we saw with Liger going with that high-risk maneuver outside the ring moments ago.
Minoru Tanaka going back up top, comes off the top, scores with the knee to the back of the skull of Liger, covers his man. Did not get a 3 count that time. Minoru Tanaka, you call it Fight Night?
The Juji Katami right there.
That's right, drop back into that Juji Katami. A lot of people wrongfully call that a cross arm breaker. We now see Liger picking his... He was looking for it. He was looking for that Liger bomb, man. He was trying to put him away. When we talk about the finishing moves of these two wrestlers, Minoru Tanaka has that 450 splash off the top, a move he patterned after the great Hayabusa, the fireball splash. He also has the Minoru special number 2, which is an awesome, if you can imagine this, Northern Light suplex, as I like to call it, the Aurora Borealis into a Juji Katami like we saw seconds ago. Liger missed with that capo kick. Liger, known for the brainbusters. Wait a minute, there it is, a modified variation of the Minoru special. We saw that Juji Katami. Liger likes to use the brainbuster. He likes to use the Liger bomb, the sit-out Liger bomb, the running Liger bomb. He will also come off the top with the shooting star press. Here it is. Sit-out Liger bomb. Liger too close to the rope that time. Minoru Tanaka able to get the rope break. Beautifully executed, as now we see the sit-out Fujiwara armbar from the challenger in all white. Let's talk about the training of Liger. Wait a minute, for a second time, and Liger couldn't get it. Liger actually wanting to train, right out of high school with New Japan Pro Wrestling. They told him his height was not adequate. They told him he was too short, as we saw the sprawl there from Minoru Tanaka. Liger determined. At that point, as we see the reverse shoulder breaker, the arm breaker, Liger headed down to Mexico. He trained in Lucha Libre. He was then called back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And wait a minute, we'll continue this in a second. Minoru Tanaka looked for another knee, could not get it. So many people forget that this man, Jushin Thunder Liger, with that beautiful sunset flip, with that beautiful drop kick, that senton, Liger actually trained in Canada as well, in the dungeon in Calgary.
I have to cut you off for a second, Arachnid. He's going high risk. He's going to that top rope.
Yeah, it looked like he was going for that avalanche German, could not get it. Like I was saying, Liger trained in Calgary by Stu Hart in the dungeon. Not a bad wrestler to come out of there ever. When we talk about graduates of the dungeon, not just Jushin Thunder Liger, but every member of the Hart family. We can talk about Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Lance Storm, hell, even Just Incredible. And talking about Just Incredible, it will be just incredible if he can hit this avalanche German. And no, for the second time, Minoru Tanaka floats through. The third time Liger went for it. Liger still cannot get it. I asked you earlier on, wait a minute, snap
Juji
suplex.
Gatami.
Beautifully executed, Juji Gatami. At that, I asked you earlier on how you saw the match playing out up to that point. And folks, I'm getting word in the headset. We're going to take a commercial break. I believe we're about to promo Fight Night's Finest. Anyway, stay with us. We're back in about 30 seconds.
What's going on? This is Multi Styles, and what we got here is Fight Night's Finest. Let's get ready to rumble! Fight Night's Finest. Let's step in the ring where the lights are blinded. I'm about to just knock you out. Now your mouthpiece, you cannot find it. You cannot face the weather. Warming up like May's weather. Super fast like Mayweather. You cannot put your face together. Cause my hands is lightning speed. I don't really think people wanna fight with me. You'll likely flee like Frazier from Foreman. Guaranteed tonight you'll bleed. Looking like I swiped your feet from under you. I'm like Tyson Beast. I punish you. I don't think that there's nothing your freaks are gonna do but sleep.
We are back on the Thursday night Throwdown live stream. Call it Fight Night.
Sit out Liger Bomb for the second time tonight. But it's not enough to get the job done.
Once again, like we saw earlier, it was a rope break. Liger now taking his man up.
Avalanche Brainbuster.
And Minoru Tanaka might be out. Liger hooks the far leg, gets the cover.
That's two finishers he's kicked out of tonight. What a competitor in the ring tonight. Is he going for it again? A second brainbuster from Jushin Thunder Liger. He has to go for the cover. This might be enough to put him away. Lateral press. Two, not even a 2 count. 1.5 actually.
We talked earlier about the fact, and we thank Marble in the chat room for joining us. We talked earlier about the fact that Jushin Thunder Liger could not beat Minoru Tanaka in that match that went the 15 minutes. The first test for Minoru Tanaka is to take this match to 15 minutes. Both men went for the drop kick and missed that time. Liger with the drop kick to the back of the knee. Traps the leg, back heel sweep that time. Jushin Thunder Liger needs to stay on his man. I do not believe he can do it in 15 minutes, but tonight, without any time limit, I believe the longer this thing goes, possibly the more it will favor Minoru Tanaka. We've seen Tanaka get off a couple of signatures, a couple of finishing moves tonight. We've seen the same thing from Jushin Thunder Liger, but neither man able to put the other one away, and Liger once again will pick his man up, that time not running, just dropped him with the power bomb as Minoru Tanaka gets back up. Once again, fans, we ask that you go to Twitter, you tweet this out. We want to get as many people watching this live tonight. We are making history, not only with Thursday Night Throwdown, but really, when you talk about broadcasting this type of thing live, I do not believe it's ever been done before. And how apropos that the first man to bring it to you is yours truly, Arachnid Soul, at Arachnid Soul. Liger now signaling that this is over. Liger will look for this move potentially for a 4th time. This Avalanche German couldn't get it on the first 3 attempts.
He finally gets it off with the Avalanche German suplex off the top with the release, but he rolls out the wing. This might give him some time to recover, and this is not what Liger needs. He's already used his finishing maneuvers and have not been able to pin the challenger. What do you think Liger can do to finish this match, Arachnid?
Well, I gotta tell you, we saw that Avalanche German, both men landed hard. I think Liger might have actually landed harder. We saw movement on the part of Minoru Tanaka, who's just been busted open and is now a bloody mess at the hands of Jushin Thunder Liger. I believe what Liger has to do to answer your question, standing switch that time, German suplex, and Jushin Thunder Liger able to get out. I believe what Liger has to do to win this match is to stay on Minoru Tanaka. Yes, you've hit signatures. Yes, you've hit finishers. And no, as we saw that Enziguri, they have not put the challenger away. But Minoru Tanaka, a bloody mess. If Liger can stay on him, I believe he can beat him as...
Another power bomb. Wasn't the sit out Liger bomb. I thought he was going for the finish there with him being busted open. When you see your own blood, sometimes guys can lose it. Sometimes they turn into that wounded animal trapped into the corner. But so far, Minoru Tanaka still battling back hard. still showing that endurance, still showing the heart of a champion, even though he is not the yet crowned champion. Capo kick from Liger.
And I've got to tell you, one thing that I'm noticing as I think back to the first encounter these two had, Liger really didn't go for that avalanche German. It really wasn't something he was looking for. And as a result, that match did go to the 15-minute time limit. Here tonight, we see Jushin Thunder Liger looking for that avalanche German 3, 4, 5 times. It's a move that Minoru Tanaka has not encountered in the past, as once again we saw that snap suplex into the Juji Gatami. Minoru Tanaka, a bloody mess. Jushin Thunder Liger, wait a minute, in that armbar a little bit long. Surprised Liger did not tap out there. The championship, the junior heavyweight IWGP championship on the line. Once again, Liger with the capo kick.
He's
Liger
going high, he's going to the top.
It's that rear move. I think we're going to see it. Shooting star press.
That's it. That should do it. What is the referee doing? Oh, it looks like there's a rope break there. Jushin Thunder Liger did not have him in the middle of the ring. But this might set something else up, Arachnid. What do you think he's going for here?
Well, I think Liger needs to go back to the well. I think the bread and butter for Liger are his trademarks and his finishers. The rear naked choke we see now. Liger might have had his man with that shooting star. If I'm Liger, what I do, I position him a little bit better. I get Minoru Tanaka in the center of the ring and maybe go back up and hit another shooting star.
And here it looks like he's going for that right now. Shooting star press. That should be it. 1, 2, 3. And once again, it was not a 3 count. I'm sorry, guys. We had a delay, but it looks like Minoru Tanaka kicks out yet again. I got to say, I'm impressed with this guy's ability to be able to deal with the power that Liger gives. Power bomb from Liger.
Jushin Thunder Liger has been on fire tonight, but so has Minoru Tanaka. Wait again. Liger.
Shooting star press for the third time tonight.
Referee in position.
Oh
no.
My God. What does he have to do?
Minoru Tanaka with the fighting spirit. Liger gonna go back to the well.
Shooting star press for the fourth time.
And yes, Jushin Thunder Liger, I believe it almost went 20 minutes. No shame on the part of Minoru Tanaka. Liger walks in your champion. Liger walks out your champion. I gotta think that somewhere down the line, Minoru Tanaka will be granted a rematch. It is every Thursday night. It is Throwdown. What an impressive showing from these two junior heavyweights. That's the kind of action we've got in store for you tonight. Fans, stay with us. We see the celebration. Still tonight, the man they called Vader will be in action against El Samurai. And Kobashi will be in action in the main event. We've got more action on tap. And we would like to thank you for watching our first ever live stream. Like I said, join us Thursdays for Throwdown Wrestling. YouTube.com/ArachnidSoul. And it is tonight's main event a little bit later on. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the dream match. It will be the #1 contender for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. He will pick any partner of his choosing. They will face the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Killer Kenta Kobashi. Triple K as I'm calling him tonight. If he brings that lariat, Kobashi will pick any opponent of his choosing. These two have not squared off since they locked horns January 4th in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. That match still regarded as one of the finest matches in Throwdown history. That will be a little bit later on. You're going to want to keep it locked here. You're going to want to see that awesome tag team match. What an awesome bout it will be in the main event of our first ever live stream. As we come back, we come back to the arena. Not exactly one of Fight Night's finest favorite wrestlers. It's El Samurai. El Samurai, a man who, let's face it, about 2 months ago, there were 2 wrestlers in the tournament we held. Those 2 wrestlers were jumped by some mystery wrestler. El Samurai said it was Vader. Vader disputed that. Vader tonight will get his hands on El Samurai. Let's lay out for the Mastodon, Big Van Vader.
Come on, you big sissy. You can hit harder than that. You can hit me harder than that. My mama can hit harder than that. Come on, boy. Come on. Oh, it's time. It's time. It's Vader time.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see the hottest battle in great wrestling. The man they call Vader, standing in at well over 6 feet tall, weighing somewhere between 430 and 455 pounds. It's hard to get this man on a scale, and if you don't believe me, just ask one of the guys who works in the front office in New York. This man is not happy. This man, to be quite blunt, is pissed off at the accusation that he was the individual who put out both of the two wrestlers I talked about earlier who were injured in that tournament. Others speculate maybe it was Scott Flash Norton. In any case, Vader making his debut here tonight on the live stream. Momentarily will get his hands on El Samurai. Samurai giving up some weight. Fight night. I'm a little bit cautious. How do you see this thing playing out?
Well, I think Vader's gonna absolutely destroy El Samurai. When you up there lying about somebody, it's never normally turns out good for you. We all heard the term snitches get stitches, and that's exactly what might happen to El Samurai here tonight. But I gotta say this, Arachnid. In El Samurai's defense, if Vader comes in like a raging bull, which I think he might do, as we see this collar and elbow tie up into the side headlock from El Samurai, there could be some room for mistakes that El Samurai could capitalize on tonight.
I agree with you. El Samurai does have the speed advantage, does have the agility advantage, even though Vader from time to time has come off the top rope. There we see another Vader attack. The 450-pound assault. Full-arm dragon twist that time from El Samurai. Vader gets out of it, but how much damage was done to his arm? Irish whip to the corner.
Oh,
And
that splash into the corner. You gotta think, man, that's like running into a brick wall.
it's like a charging bull once again on the far side. Vader connecting twice. Takes his man out of the corner. Short arm lariat. Damn near took the head off of El Samurai. We did not think that El Samurai, Vader hits this. This will be it. Powerbomb that time. Vader actually not going for a cover.
I think he wants to punish El Samurai here tonight for those lies. Anything he's trying, he's getting stopped. Put right onto the ground every time he gets up. Look at El Samurai motion as he hits the lateral press. Vader with the 2 count, but El Samurai showing that tenacity, able to kick out. But for how long, Arachnid? That's the question. How long would you be able to deal with a 455-pound man running into you?
I gotta be honest with you, Vader just shrugged off that drop kick about 15 seconds ago and it connected. Vader now takes this man up with the choke slam. Vader going to the corner. If he hits this, this will be it. There it is, the Vader bomb.
That's it. 1, 2, 3. El Samurai put out of his misery for the lies. And I think Vader just told the truth right there with that statement. El Samurai motionless in the ring.
I will tell you what, Vader, like I said before, not getting paid by the hour. Vader already putting away El Samurai. Vader will be a serious force here on Throwdown. Fans, we've got so much more. Keep it locked. Stay with us. Arachnid Soul and Fight Night's finest. And it is coming up next. It is your main event of the first ever Throwdown live stream. 2 of the most decorated wrestlers ever in the sport of Puro Wrestleru, ever in the sport of Puro, ever in the sport of professional wrestling, to put it in English terms. Mitsuharu Misawa and Kenta Kobashi, the IWGP champion, will pick partners. We're going to find out momentarily who they have selected. Tweet this out. Follow me at Arachnid Soul. Follow Fight Night's Finest on Twitter at FNFinest, and also check out my co-commentator, youtube.com/Fight Night's Finest. Once again, we thank you for joining us in the chat. one of my favorite themes, we've got a layout for the music of Mitsuharu Misawa.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the hottest battle of great wrestling. Yoshinari Ogawa from Pro Wrestling Noah.
What an amazing team. It's Misawa. It's Ogawa. It's two amazing talents. And when we talk about Mitsuharu Misawa and Yoshinari Ogawa, we're talking about two best friends, two guys who came up together in All Japan Pro Wrestling. We're talking about two guys who pretty much founded Pro Wrestling Noah, a formidable team, easy for me to say. As we now wait for the entrance of the World Heavyweight Champion, I am hearing through the headset that his tag team partner will actually come out first, which is fitting. You want the World Champion to come out last. As Mitsuharu Misawa and Yoshinari Ogawa, aka Rad Boy, are getting ready in the ring, are looking at each other, talking strategy. Let's see right now who Kenta Kobashi picked as his partner. And yes, I do recognize that music, a man we saw in action teaming up with Yuji Nagata on the last Thursday night Throwdown. I'll lay out for the ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the hottest battle of the great wrestling.
And it is Jun Akiyama. And when we talk about royalty, when we talk about greatness from yesteryear, from All Japan Pro Wrestling and also currently in Pro Wrestling Noah, a couple of names keep being called out. One of those names is sternness. One of those names is Jun Akiyama. Jun Akiyama, Mitsuharu Misawa, Yoshinari Ogawa, and Kenta Kobashi. A who's who of Pure Wrestling, a who's who of All Japan and Pro Wrestling Noah. What an awesome main event this is going to be. The elements are there. Let's shake them up. Let's see if they combust as we wait for your reigning IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Here comes Kobashi. And you hear the fans here tonight in Japan chanting the last name, Kobashi, Kobashi, a man who has made an impact not only in Japan, but also from time to time in the United States in Ring of Honor Pro Wrestling. A man who captured that IWGP Championship December 19th from the now retired Masahiro Chono. Ever since, Kobashi has been a fighting champion, defending that belt last week against Shinjiro Otani at a Pro Wrestling 01 Max event. Check out the Throwdown library playlist. That match, those highlights are in that playlist as we go now to the main event, as we go now to what you've all been waiting for. The final bout of our first ever live stream. Kobashi's ready. Akiyama's ready. Yoshinari Ogawa and Misawa are ready. You heard that opening bell. Fight Night's finest. It's the main event. We are live from Japan. We got the chat room. We've got Red Eye Jedi. We've got Marble. We've got the Twittersphere. And we now have one of the biggest tag team matches. One of the biggest bouts ever in Throwdown history. I'm just gonna ask you, point blank here. You've got Misawa's team, you've got Kobashi's team. Who do you think's gonna win this thing?
I'm gonna have to give this up to Team Lariat. Once that Lariat connects, once somebody meets that arm, whether it's the left or the right of Kenta Kobashi, either that or if we see that Black Crush here tonight, that's gonna be the end of it for Misaharu Misawa.
That's right, he's got the Black Crush, which is a vertical suplex, believe it or not, transition into a diamond cutter, into an ace crusher. Kenta Kobashi, also the master of the burning lariat. But I gotta say, Mitsuharu Misawa, we see him out on the ring skirt in the green and white. Mitsuharu Misawa damn near defeated Kenta Kobashi at Wrestle Kingdom. I believe that Mitsuharu Misawa, the winner of your Catchweight Championship tournament, has Kenta Kobashi's number. I actually think that Mitsuharu Misawa, and I gotta give it up to Yoshinari Ogawa as well, Rat Boy. And they call him that because he's the master of the quick pin, of the cradle. We see the Greco-Roman knuckle lock here. I think Jun Akiyama will win the test of strength, actually. It looks like Yoshinari Ogawa getting the better of the holds. Referee Tiger Hattori calling the action tonight. Drop step that time. Standing switch. Bridging German from Jun Akiyama did not get a 3 count. I think Mitsuharu Misawa, and I believe that Jun Akiyama will get into it momentarily. I can't wait to see Kenta Kobashi and Misawa get into it. Fight night, we've seen some back and forth as now Misawa comes in, and it looks like, yes, now Kenta Kobashi will come in. What does Mitsuharu Misawa have to do here tonight to overcome the man you think will be successful, Kenta Kobashi?
Well, he's going to have to take out the legs. If he can take out the legs, you can take out some of that power. You can take out the base of a fighter, then you can basically take them out for the rest of the round. Keep them grounded, go for those submissions, and you may be able to slow the big guy down.
God, we saw the sleeper suplex that time. We saw Kobashi go for a cover. Could not even get a 1 count standing switch that time into the corner. And Misawa taking a shot that time on Jun Akiyama. Misawa, we have heard that there have been some rumblings, some tension between Jun Akiyama and Misawa backstage. I thought they were professional. We now see Kobashi took a shot on Yoshinari Ogawa. This tag team encounter breaking down pretty fast here tonight in Japan. We see Mitsuharu Misawa trying to get some distance between himself and your reigning IWGP World Champion, Kenta Kobashi.
Now, I've talked about this before, Rack. Now, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's like every time you do something to Kenta in the ring, it's like that rage meter just building up in a video game. Imagine that little red bar just constantly filling up until it reaches max level. You're going to see that lariat from Kenta Kobashi tonight. I don't think it's without a doubt that you will see that lariat. And when you do, when it explodes, it's going to be game over. And that little run from Misawa outside the ring there, I think that's going to add a few shots to that Kenta Kobashi lariat maneuver. And as we see those fast forearm shivers from Misawa.
Those disgusting forearm shivers and the spinning back kick did connect as well. We talked about the finisher of the champion Kenta Kobashi, that lariat, that Stan Hansen-like lariat as Misawa went plancha suicida. The suicide press to the outside. Let's talk about some of the other finishers. Mitsuharu Misawa has obviously the Tiger Driver. It's that double underhook into the sit-out powerbomb. It's a move we've seen him successful with on a number of occasions. The man in all white, Jun Akiyama, has the move he invented as we see that beautiful fireman's carry, has the Exploder Suplex 98. There's the rear naked choke. And when we talk about Ogawa, we touched on it a little bit earlier on. The fast cradles. You're going to want to look for the schoolboys. You're going to want to look for the small packages. He likes to hit a bridging, belly-to-back suplex that is out of this world. We see the head scissors now, and look at the little nuance. We saw that time actually Jun Akiyama cranking on there, planting both hands on the mat, tweaking the neck of Misawa. Misawa tagging out. We saw Jun Akiyama tagging out. I thought that might have been the lariat. Anytime I see Kenta Kobashi running, I don't know about you, but I get a little nervous.
Yeah, I get a little nervous too, and seeing how Rat Boy was just tagged into the ring, I didn't want to see him get hit with that lariat. Because a guy who has to use the schoolboy maneuver, you know he's not a guy who might not be able to take a lot of punishment away.
We saw that release German suplex. You're absolutely right. To look at Rat Boy, the novice would think that maybe he can't take that much punishment. And we will never know because, like I said, he's quick, he's sneaky. He's been in the ring with heavyweights, with super heavyweights. Kobashi that time with the super kick. Got a little tense again. But Yoshinari Ogawa, so good at using his agility, so good at using his technical expertise, not only to win matches, but to circumnavigate some of the power attacks. Full Nelson that time into the Dragon Suplex. Did not get the job done. What a beautifully executed suplex that time from your world heavyweight champion. Here are the two men I wanted to see reverse the Irish whip that time. Shoots in with the schoolboy, and Kobashi was in the ropes. And I've got to think, I know you're not a fan of that schoolboy, but I've got to think that when we go back to Wrestle Kingdom, it was a night where Mitsuharu Misawa and Kobashi pulled out every finisher and every trademark. And at the end of the night, and man, I mean just barely, Kenta Kobashi was able to get the Duke. I wonder if Mitsuharu Misawa, almost like a Diamond Dallas Page back in the day, has been studying the match footage, almost like an Alex Shelley back in the day with that paparazzi championship camera. And I wonder if Misawa studied that footage and said to himself, what I've got to do to put away Kobashi is not try to beat him outright, but I got to kind of go with my tag team partner. I kind of got to go with Rat Boy. Look for that cradle, look for that quick win. Once again, Rat Boy tagged in. There was an exploder suplex. It was not the wrist clutch exploder. It was not the exploder 98 like I talked about earlier. We see
Kenta Kobashi trying to put the fear into Rat Boy's heart, standing behind him and even walking behind him a few seconds ago outside the ring.
Well, yeah, I mean, Rat Boy was caught between a rock and a hard place. To go back into the ring, you gotta face Jun Akiyama. And then you turn around and there's a 6'5", 270-plus-pound man. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, as Danny Doring would say, double underhook DDT. Referee Tiger Hattori was in position a couple of seconds ago for that lateral press that did not get a 3 count. Kneeling sleeper, modified rear naked choke, did not get the job done either. Once again, Jun Akiyama with the bridging German suplex. And once again, Yoshinari Ogawa, once again, Rat Boy, able to get out. Fans, I've got to thank you on behalf of Fight Night's Finest in Arachnid Soul for joining us for this awesome live stream. We're going to do more of these in the future. DDT. And we're going to continue calling this awesome main event with these 4 world-class athletes. Jun Akiyama, off the top, drops the knee, caught Yoshinari Ogawa in the back of the quad that time, standing switch. German, oh my God, I cannot believe that. Jun Akiyama backflipping through it. What do you think so far of the showing from Jun Akiyama?
Well, he's shown a very impressive match. We've seen the submissions, trying to take the air out of Rat Boy with that head scissors and also the rear naked choke. We've seen an excellent match, and we've seen a lot of energy from Jun Akiyama.
And when we talk about Jun Akiyama, we've got to talk about that newly formed tag team. Wait a minute. Off the top with the avalanche belly-to-belly suplex. We've got to talk about Jun Akiyama and that new tag team he's formed with Mr. Controversy, as I used to call him. That new tag team he's formed, Exploder 98 on the outside. Had that happened in the ring, that would have been it. Jun Akiyama, Yuji Nagata, that new tag team. It was on the last edition of Thursday Night Throwdown that we announced that alongside the already held IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, which we saw Liger hold on to moments ago, along with the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, you're seeing the champion Kenta Kobashi now on the ring skirt as we see the Cobra Twist abdominal stretch. We will be introducing, for the first time ever, very soon to Throwdown, the IWGP World Tag Team Championships.
Looks like both men are getting impatient and they are tired of waiting to be tagged in. We saw Misawa patiently waiting for Rat Boy to tag him in, but Jun Akiyama shooting in with that double leg moments ago in order to keep him grounded.
And now we see everyone outside the ring. Jun Akiyama, Misawa Ogawa, and Kenta Kobashi. Everyone outside the ring. This match once again breaking down. Yoshinari Ogawa and Jun Akiyama to keep orders. We saw that DDT are the two legal men. IWGP World Tag Team Championships coming to Throwdown soon. We saw the fireman's carry, and you've got to think that Yuji Nagata. Here we see the Satora Gatami, the real name for a move many people call the Scorpion Deathlocker for the Canadian viewers. The sharpshooter, made famous by Bret the Hitman Hart, Sting, and also Hiroshi Hase in Japan. A very painful hold, almost like a modified Boston Crab / Texas Cloverleaf. The benefits of both as we see the world champion get tagged back in. Once again, for the purists out there, that's called the Satora Gatami. Kenta Kobashi back inside. Well, let me ask you, Kenta is the world champion, but we don't see him wrestle too often.
I'm sorry, I almost saw that lariat connect for a second, but we saw Rat Boy go for the quick pin there in order to duck underneath that lariat.
That's exactly what Rat Boy does. A lot of times he likes to take the belly to back we just saw and keep it for a bridge and pin his opponents. Actually, he's doing very well here against the world champion. And let me ask you though, like I was saying, Kenta Kobashi, we respect our world champion. We don't give him a full schedule. It's a special thing to see the world champion action. Do you think that actually favors Kenta Kobashi having more of almost like a championship boxing schedule rather than a pro wrestling champion schedule?
Yeah, I think it does favor him. He gets, he gets his nights off. He gets enough rest. This way he can perform at maximum. As we saw Rat Boy try to get the knees up there for the counter. But go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say it was a great move. We saw the moonsault off the top. Rat Boy did get the knees up, but I don't know how much of that connected. Hooking lariat. Now that's not that burning lariat. That's not what we're talking about there. That's more of that Randy Savage style. Hooking lariat. Kobashi that time scored with the folding press powerbomb. Nicely done. Stacking his opponent. Keeping the double leg. Will he look? Nope. Thought he was going to go dragon. Instead went German. Did have the full Nelson, but transitioned into the waist lock. Backhand knife edge chops and drop kicks we are seeing respectively from these two men. This match now breaking down from a wrestling match into a slugfest. There it is. Sit out pile driver. We just saw it, and Ogawa is up. The fighting spirit of Yoshinari Ogawa eating the DDT and getting right back up. What will it take to put away Rat Boy?
Well, I can tell you what it's going to take. That's Schoolboy, the Schoolboy. But he only gets the 2 count, and Akiyama didn't like it. He's stepping into the ring with the knee, that high knee, that high knee to the back of the head. Misawa now trying to get involved, and we see the leg submission from Jun Akiyama.
And we see Kenta Kobashi comes in.
Oh my God, there it is! That lariat!
Nariato! If he can top him, there's a cover. 2. Yes! Kenta Kobashi and Jun Akiyama get the deuce. It has been Thursday Night Throwdown. It has been Fight Night's Finest, the Sophie Commentator. YouTube.com/Fight Night's Finest. And it has been your host, as always, Arachnid Soul. A dream come true for yours truly. My first live stream. The first time I've broadcast and presented Thursday Night Throwdown live. Fans, thank you once again for watching our first live stream. Join us Thursday nights for Throwdown Wrestling. YouTube.com/Arachnid Soul for Fight Night's Finest. It has been your host once again, Arachnid Soul, saying thank you as always. Share this stream. Let the people know. Thank you and good night.